Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board.
Okay, break the window and take her out.
Karens think they can yell, argue, and break every rule, but they're about to learn the only thing they're entitled to is a night in county jail.
Wild surveillance video from inside the North Face store at the Pleasant Prairie Premium Outlets shows what police are calling a mob shoplifting incident.
Well, hello tubers, hope you're doing well wherever you are in this crazy YouTube universe. Today I'm coming to you from beautiful supernatural British Columbia here on Cultus Lake. I'm the only one here because the park's closed but pedestrians are allowed in, so I scooched the motorcycle in and walked in so I could shoot this video because it's a very sincere question that I have, and it's two groups of people. I'm asking this question as a Canadian, even though arguably you could say my second home would be in the United States, because over the course of my life I've spent years, you know, a day here, a week here, a month here, a winter there. All adds up to years of my life, and compared to any other country in the world, I guarantee my second home has been the US of the A. So the question is, there's two groups that I'm really curious about, and I know that a lot of my audience are Americans, 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. So you guys got a lot of life experience. Now you got to remember, you got to be careful with the way you word your responses or your answers to my question, because the YouTube bots will maybe, you know, ban you, block you, or do something to you where your comment will not even be visible to anyone. So there's two groups that I'm very curious about with the American experience. It's the urban black folks who historically have culturally enriched America with their contributions to the arts and entertainment and sports. You know, some of the most amazing artists. You know, and I'm older, so I like the older stuff. You know, I've always been a fan of, say, Nat King Cole. He died a lot sooner than he had to. You know, and of course, we all have our favorite sports celebrities who have made contributions to the American experience. So one of the questions is regarding them, and the second group is white, Anglo-Saxon, middle-class women.
Shut the f*** up, you
Where's your phone?
Wait,
Touch me.
I don't give a
touch me. Hey, oh.
So it's not necessarily a race question, because it involves white women and black folk. Now, before anybody just weighs in, and a lot of people just weigh in before they even watch the video and they make assumptions, watch the video first. So people will just say, oh, well, yeah, you're just some sort of racist boomer, or what do you know about black people, because there are no black people in Canada. In fact, we're swimming in minorities. Swimming. Got lots. And for those of you that are history buffs, you will know that the end of the Underground Railroad ended in Canada, and as we had abolished slavery much earlier, and we did it without a war. So hence our black population. Aside from being a member of the Commonwealth, where we have a lot of Jamaicans who came here. In fact, I've even had relationships with Jamaican ladies, Jamaican Canadians. Even though Canada, we tend not to hyphenate. If you were born here and you're from Jamaican stock, you call yourself Canadian. Just what you do. Now, if pressed, people say, oh, where did you come from before that? Well, then I guess you're going to say you're Jamaican. But so these are the questions, because these two groups have something very interesting in common. And I've been posing this question to my American Republican friends, and I've yet to receive a satisfactory answer. And the question is, let's start with the American black folk. Why is there such poor behavior with the young black folks at airports, in restaurants, shopping malls, things like that, where I see there are thousands. This isn't a one of or a two of. There are thousands of documented cases on video where young black people are maybe accused of a crime. Whether they did it or not is not really apropos, but they immediately flip out. In fact, they often are the cause of the police being called, because they're screaming, yelling, fighting, I don't understand this because let's take a step back here. I want to know why. But let's take a step back here, because I've dealt with a lot of black people in Canada and Europe, for example. I remember speaking my best French possible, checking into a hotel in Paris, and the lovely lady there was black. Okay. I've seen black people in Spain. I've seen black people in Sweden. There's black people in Europe, okay? Lots of them. And I'm not talking about the Algerians that just arrived. I'm talking people that are established. And they're just regular people. They don't flip out. They behave like anybody else. They do not expect any special treatment. And they just live their life, go to work, pay their bills, and do their own thing. But why in the American experience are particularly the young urban black folks, when I say young, I mean like 40 and under, let's say, just incredibly angry, incredibly entitled? And in fact, when a simple thing happens, like say they're accused of shoplifting, well, instead of just picking up a shoplifting charge, they get the obstructing justice and assaulting a police officer because they just don't go along willingly. And look, if I was pulled over, which I have been pulled over by foreign police, I don't misbehave. In fact, I even was pulled over by police in the Republic of Cuba. I made an illegal left-hand turn. Did I offer a bribe? No. Did I flip out? No. Did I threaten them? No. Did I say, oh, I'm a tourist, I pay your bills, go away? No. I sucked it up, took my knocks, paid my 35 new peso fine, and I got on with my life. Okay. Now I could have elected a whole bunch of bad options, but I did not. Okay. So why in the American experience with the black folk is there such anger, hostility, and resistance to civility and goodwill towards others? I don't understand. Now, somebody a lot smarter than me should answer this question, because you know there's going to be people who say, oh, you're a dick, line screw, for even asking. Well, no, I'm not, because the only way to get an answer in anything in life is to ask the question. That's step one. Ask the question. Why? I don't get it. Don't get it. Okay, now we're moving on to the white middle-class Anglo-Saxon women. They're doing the same thing, okay? Flipping out. They get pulled over with a burned out taillight, and suddenly it escalates to a felony. Entitlement, anger, complete lack of respect for law enforcement and for good order, basic civility. Don't get it. And the fascinating thing is these are two separate groups. The white group tend to be a lot more affluent. The black folks less so. So it's not necessarily a race thing, if you catch my drift, because we got two different demographics acting in the exact same way. It doesn't make sense to me. And I have seen the odd Karen up here, because euphemistically that's what we call these people, Karens. I got a friend, his wife's named Karen. She don't like the fact that her name is Karen, but what can you do unless you change it, right? So why is this American experience filled with such peculiarity? It's not the typical guy like me. In my peer group, you know, in a conservative American or Canadian, you know, we take our lumps. If we're wrong, we're wrong. We own it. Make amends, pay the fine, whatever it takes. You just do it and own it. And why is the entitlement of others so strong, and the inability to regulate emotions and the ability to actually act civil in public? In fact, I'm a firm believer that we should start making lists, because we already do this and people hate it. They go, oh, you can't judge. I say you can judge, and that's all we do is judge. And I've had a long career in government where all we do is judge. Why do you think we got criminal records? Because we judge you. Why do you think we have credit reports? We judge you. That's why a 401 FICO is not the same as a 801, okay? Because we judge you. We keep lists, we have databases, we don't trust certain people because you've proven that we can't trust you. Now, I think the time has come that we make a Karen list. Yeah, and we don't care what race you are. You act like a Karen. Now, of course, government, leave it to government. They come up with a fancy term for it, like it'd have a nice acronym, and it would sound all official. But it'd be kind of like a no-go zone in public, where you just aren't allowed in a whole lot of places. Yeah, go fight it in court. So I really don't get why there are these certain groups. Now, my question is for men who happen to be married to Karens. Look, I have a saying, I don't negotiate with idiots or terrorists. And I've experienced this in the dating world. You're with somebody, they flip out, they act stupid, they cause a scene. Okay, that's free. You get one free. Second time, check please, I'm out. I'm out. I don't care if I'm even married to you. I just talked to a divorce lawyer. Bye. Bye-bye. See you. Life's too short to be around people that are drama queens and idiots. Just wouldn't tolerate it. But that's me. I'm tough that way. I'm tough but fair. I give you the rules, and you want to test them? You'll see. I won't even be angry. I just quietly, I'll pack up my toys and move on. So, why is it, folks? I keep asking the why. Please, why are these two groups not learning how to live a calm, civil life, and they are incapable of introspection? They are not capable of understanding their behavior in the context of what is expected. They cannot self-regulate their moods and emotions. Now, maybe it's a pharmacy problem for the middle-class women, because some of them in the US of A that I know of are pumped up with SSRI drugs and the like, and there is no group more depressed than the urban white female. They're always depressed, never happy. You know, they'll meet a new guy and they'll be happy for a while, and then they get bored with him, and they'll go see their shrink, and they'll get maybe new meds, and they'll try something else, and then they'll still be depressed. But I'm sure that's not the common with the American experience of the black folk. I think there's something else going on there, but it's fascinating that their behavior is so in common with the white Anglo-Saxon female housewife experience. So they tend to be married women. Not always, but don't get it, because you wonder if these women, when they're 45 years old, driving their minivan, and then next thing you know, they're pulled over by the police, they're in handcuffs, they're picking up a couple felonies, and you wonder why'd they have to do this to themselves? And of course, what do? They blame the men, because it was usually a cop that pulled them over that happened to be male, and they blame the system or the government. Meanwhile, if they would have just signed for the damn speeding ticket, produced their driver's license, and had proper insurance and registration, nothing would happen. Nothing. Don't get it. But yet we are blessed with videos by the thousands of these groups doing this to themselves, and they're not even embarrassed. Because I know for a fact, if I wound up in a video like that, which the odds of that happening to me is somewhere near zero, because I don't behave that way. But if it did, I'd be the first one making a comment saying, very sorry folks, this will never happen again. I was wrong, I accept my responsibility, and I will make it right. And I expect the rest of you to hold me accountable to not allow this type of behavior from me ever again. So yeah, I don't get it, man. Don't get it. So anyway, folks, you put your comments and answers to my query, because it's a very sincere thing, And I've seen it with my own eyes. I remember seeing these exact same things pull out, and happen in, bus stations and airports. And I don't know why. Don't know. But it's definitely largely an American experience. So, folks, put your comments down below. Hope you guys are doing well. Talk to you soon. Over and out.
I got you.